Hello and welcome back, beautiful soul, to Permission to Follow Your Inner GPS, your inner guided purpose soul path. We all have one. We all have a life purpose. We all have this compelling feeling, or at least most of us do, to follow it. Now, not everyone knows what it is, and even those of us who do, I promise you it'll get tweaked and kind of, redirected here and there over the course of your life. And this podcast is all about helping you to get out of your own way. And Annie Massop is here with us today. I'm pushing buttons, unfortunately. There we go. So please allow me to introduce this beautiful soul. Her name is Annie Massop. She is a money and time healer. She supports spiritual entrepreneurs to align their life and business to their purpose, so that they feel fulfilled, and of course to earn enough money with their work while having enough time to enjoy their life. And isn't that an easy thing or whatever to be doing? Because so many of us spiritual people, and I have been there, well, I'm spiritual, I'm on my path, should I really be thinking about money? Yes. And this beautiful lady is going to help us understand her path, how she got to where she is. Please welcome our guest today, Annie Massop. Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, I'm so glad I'm here. Thank you for having me. And I love your podcast. I'm so grateful that I can be here. And well, you hear from my accent, I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm not a native English speaker, but I hope you can understand me.
We're doing great. And so please tell us a little bit about you and what it is you do, beautiful.
Okay. Well, first I will tell a bit about what I do, and then I will share my journey, which was a long and winding road for most of us. Most of our spiritual entrepreneurs, it's always not the easiest path, and I'm not an exception to that. Well, I'm a money time healer, what means that I work with spiritual entrepreneurs. And as you say, mostly they have a hate-love relationship with money and time. Both are always too little. And because spiritual entrepreneurs are really giving from their heart to the people, they want to help people. They are givers, they are helpers. Mostly, there are exceptions, but mostly they are not so business-like, but if you are an entrepreneur, you have to be business-like, you have to be taking care of your money, you have to get, you give value to the other, so you can also receive. And receiving is the most difficult part, mostly for spiritual entrepreneurs. Allowing yourself to have money, to receive it, because we are so used to give. But it should be in balance, And the same with time, because I have clients, okay, they raise their rates, but then they feel guilty. And then they give more time to their clients. So they agree on a session of 1 hour with their client, and that, oh, well, let's do 1.5 hours, let's do 2 hours. And at the end, they have a lower rate if you calculate it. So it's and of course, because a lot of my clients and from my tribe are helpers, they give away a lot of free time. And of course, there should also be a balance in. And it's not to be greedy, because a lot of my people think I'm greedy. But what an example do you give to your peeps if you don't allow yourself to have abundance? That's also the wrong message you give to your clients. So, but okay, I will share my story, because I had mostly a time problem, and it's all related to my youth and what I experienced along the way. And that's another message I see so often. You can't split your business from your personal history. So if you give too much in your personal life, you will give too much in your business. And
There's a point I'd like to really emphasize. You're talking about, spiritual entrepreneurs, whether they're a reader, healer, a life coach, whatever it is, or they're a CPA on their spiritual path. When they raise their rates, you're right, they get filled with some guilt about charging so much. But what I like to help people see from the other side is, okay, so if someone says to you, you shouldn't be charging for whatever it is you do, tell them, okay, so go into your boss and tell them you don't need to be paid because this comes naturally to you. And in just about every other field of anything, it's okay to be paid what you're worth. And yet when it comes to spirituality, the only time we really allow it is for the gurus at the top to say, hello, they weren't always up there. So why is it not okay for you?
yes, we had in the Netherlands a few years ago, there was a topic, I think it was on Twitter. If you go to the bakery and then you say to the baker, well, give me that bread for free. Because nobody says, oh, that's ridiculous. So why should I give my time and my value and for free? And it's absolute. So that was really someone made a funny video about it. So we are all used to pay for our bread and our house and our electricity and our cars and yeah. In some cultures you can have a bit of bargaining, but we are, well, it's normal that we pay. And so it's also that because a lot of spiritual entities don't value and don't see their own value.
Right.
They don't, because it comes so natural. So
Yes.
it's so easy. But what is easy for me doesn't mean that it doesn't have value for you.
That's
And
right.
that's the how do you say that? A thinking. It's really a thinking error, and
It's a mindset.
it's a mindset, and also but also a bit of awareness.
Yes.
So that if you are in your how do you say that? I'm sometimes I don't know the word. When you are in your natural strength, and because it's so easy, you don't. Well, that's so funny. I always think it's that we are very empathic, and on this point we are not empathic. We don't see.
I agree. Spirituality is not tangible. If someone is very strong being a computer person, that's tangible because we can see what they need to do.
Yeah.
But the spiritual part, clearing out beliefs and mindsets and self-worth, that's not so easily touchable. And so it can't be worth as much because it's not real. And that's the farthest from any truth at all. It is very real. Without self-worth, you don't have much.
Well, yeah. Before my current business, this business is I started it last year. Before that, I had a business as intuitive marketing coach, and I really had to learn the people to because you can, to a certain extent, you can make it tangible. Because if I heal someone, there are some areas, and you can really say, if someone is feeling better and their relationships are better and they like to go to work, they have more energy, they eat better. Well, some examples. If you translate that to concrete things as money, for instance, or time, if your relationship is better, you don't lose time with arguing with your partner, but you enjoy nice things with each other. So it's a time aspect on that. If you have a lot of fights with your partner, then you will phone with your friends, blah, 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 blah. That costs money. Maybe you go to a therapist. You read a lot of books. So, but you really have to, and to a certain, you can make it more tangible, but it's I agree with you that it's not obvious from the first sight. So if someone fix your computer and it works again, okay, that's very clear.
Yes.
And if we fix something or we help someone to fix something in her or his head or in his energy, it's mostly not so clear at the moment. But so you need, of course, you have to, how do you say that? So that's a really a practical skill. I teach my clients still. But the other part is also not valuing yourself for, and I think it's not only a personal thing, but also a cultural thing. We
I
live,
agree.
we
I
live
agree.
in, we live in a society which values money, performance, status, material goods, and not the health of persons or the spirituality. And when we would live 2000 years ago, spiritual people were much more valued. There were medicine men, there were shamans, and in the traditional tribes, they are still valued, but now it's totally, well, totally that's not true, but it's coming back partly. But the main idea is still, yeah, you should have material goods, and then you are successful, and then it's, yeah, that's the most desirable. So I think it's also a cultural thing of our society, and I'm really, and that's one part of my vision, and that I tell my, because almost all of my clients and people in my tribe are high sensitive. I say we are the healers. We can contribute to the world. We can make the world a better place. So take your role and see your role in a bigger perspective. Don't value yourself against the rules of the current society, because the society is sick and we can heal them. So that's really a mind shift, and fortunately, more and more people are light workers and mediums and healers and readers and therapists, but we still have yeah, our also in our mind the old views of what is a successful person, and that's a white man, a white man who is material, have a lot of money and a big car, and well, that's very stereotype, but and most of my clients are women. I guess your clients are too. So it's really to value yourself, that you really have to contribute something to the world, and that you don't take the rules of the society as your how do you say that, as your
You don't take them as your own, and that's what
yeah,
we in general, and I have been guilty. I'm much, much, much better at not comparing myself anymore. When I see someone who has something that I would like, I said, that's what I want to do, rather than, oh, and I only compare myself to where I started. And even though I might not yet be where I want, I'm certainly a lot closer now than I was yesterday, and certainly closer than I was 8 years ago.
absolutely.
Thankfully. Please share with us one of the obstacles or challenges that you faced and worked through, and how you worked through it.
Yes, okay. I started at my very, very young age. I was raised in a family, I can say now, that was, my father and mother wanted the best for me and for my brothers and sisters. However, they really missed the social skills. There was a lot of violence. There was a lot of physical violence, emotional violence, and at the age of 3, I think, I was the most traumatic event of my life. It's really before and after that. I was, and that's, I believed in angels. I believed in Jesus. I believed in God. I was really connected with the spirit world. Although I didn't mention it, that name, of course, at that time, because it was a Catholic family I was raised in. So it was Jesus and angels and God. But at the age of 3, I was so beaten up by my mother, because there was a neighbor who was complaining about something, what about his children. Apparently, they complained about me, and my mother just hit me, and she kicked me, and I was in the corner of the room, and I thought she would kill me. So I was so afraid, and I didn't know what I had done wrong. So then I went outside, and then the neighbor man came, and with his children, and said, "You shoot her, shoot her." And I was 3 years old, and they had a pistol. Well, it wasn't a real pistol, but I was already so traumatized by uh, the beating of my mother, and she was kicking me also with her leg, kicking, yeah. So I was terrified. I thought, I'm not, nowhere. I'm not safe in house and not outside. But what the most terrible part of it, I didn't believe in Jesus anymore. I didn't believe in angels anymore. I didn't believe in God anymore. Because why did they allow that to happen? So, okay, I continued, and especially my mother was a very dominant, strong woman, and she was very negative. I was lazy. But the only thing she valued was if I had good grades at school. And I'm a clever woman. So, well, it's no surprise. I made career in the corporate world. I had very good jobs. I earned bunches of money, more money than men. I'm not a typical woman. I earned more money than men. Very strange. I didn't do anything special for it, but okay. And something was missing. I was very restless, so I changed jobs after 2 years. Oh, I know what. I have a lot of talents, and it's not to be arrogant, but if I want something and I like it, I can do it. So, but when I master it, I said, okay, I'm bored. I go further. So I had so many professions. Um, I've been a cook, but I've also been a carpenter. I've been a manager. I've been a programmer. I've been a sales trainer, and well, whatever. It was an exotic career. But when I was 50, I think, then somehow I just had bosses which were very dominant. And if I have a dominant boss, I go, because I really can't work with a dominant boss. So within 5 years, every year I had another job, because every time there was a dominant boss. Terrible. But well, at the end, I got a burnout, because it was really accumulating. I was also already wondering, why is this happening all the time to me? This is, I went from the job, I want to escape that dominant boss, and then I came in the next job, the boss was even worse. So that repeated itself. I got a burnout. I was sick at home, and oh yeah, and although I was in the computer industry for the last 15 years, I think, of my career, in my private life, I was following personal growth courses, healing courses, massage courses, but it was really split. It was really two separate worlds. I dare not to mention it in my computer job, because these people are, well, you just said it, they are very rational, they think that's woo-woo, and so, but it was really split. And when I got the burnout, my husband and I went for a holiday to Malaysia, and there was a celebration of a specific Hindu. How would you say that? God, I think. I start crying, and then we were in Hindu temple, crying. I said, "Oh, I stay here. I never go away here." It's really felt as if I didn't have it in a Muslim temple or in a Christian temple or in a Chinese temple. It was in a Hindu temple, and I said to my husband, "I want to stay here." And at the same time, that I don't think that's the solution, but there's something I really miss in my life. Well, we went home. I didn't stay, and I found I missed the spirituality in my life, and I neglected it. I don't give it the place it deserves, and I started investigating what kind of spirituality or movement would fit for me. So I did all kinds of things, and at the end, I found a good shaman. I got a education of 2 years with him. I also found out that I'm a high sensitive person, which I really didn't like because it caused me so much problems in my working career. Because I wasn't aware that I thought that everybody was like me. So, but then I discovered I'm not like most people because I always took in a lot of emotions from other persons. But I thought that everybody did that. So I was always wondering how other people dealt with that because I had so much problems with that. But and I always had problems with when I worked in a business in a company. I always said, "Oh, something is wrong there. We should pay attention to that and that." And they didn't like it because I saw it far before they saw it, and it gave me always troubles with people who didn't believe it or say you are an annoying person and so. Well, and okay, long story short, that I did a lot of healing and therapy for that. At a certain point of time, I accept my sensitivity, I accept spirituality is essential in my life. And from that point, my health became better because that was the real reason I had it were not the dominant bosses, but it was really denying my spirituality and my high sensitivity and my intuition. And from intuitively, my previous business evolved. I just had an idea because I already had an idea to start a business and I followed some marketing courses, but it was very mental. And one of my superpowers, I really can mention it that, call it like that, is that I can translate mental models to intuitive forms. So I started, I think, and the first thing when you start a business is the first thing is that, of course, that it must be aligned with your purpose.
Yes.
We as spiritual energies can't be successful, or we will be very tired if we don't align. But the second thing is that you should have a clear picture of who your clients are and what their problems are, and if they want to pay for if they are willing to pay for your service. So you defining your niche. Well, you can do it by head. I think, okay, what kind of people do I like, and blah blah blah. But, well, okay, that's for some people that's okay, but for intuitive people that's mostly very difficult. So I made a guided meditation. I think you can do it also in an intuitive way, and my husband said, "Can you earn your money with that?" Yes, I said. I knew I could, but it lasted, I think, a year before it was. How do you say that? I had the idea and the vision, but before it was really a concrete program that took some time. I had to test it. Now at this moment I'm very experienced, but my first meditation I had to test. So because I created the meditation and people did it, and then I thought, well, if they do the meditation, then they know who their clients are. Well, no, that was not too black-white. It takes more steps. So I really had to develop it together with pilot clients. So that took some time. And at a certain point, my husband said, yeah, you can earn your money with that. And now he trusts the process, because in the start, it's very fake, very unclear, and it's really, yeah, you can imagine, it's really more in the cloud.
Yes, it can be, in the beginning, it can be very difficult to put into words what you have this sense of knowing that spirit and the angels have given you. And it's like, okay, so how do you translate that to where people understand what's in it for them?
Yeah.
And how it can help them.
Yes. And especially my husband, because he's always encouraging me, but he's a very grounded, a very, well, what you see, what you get person. So it was really, for him, the first time he said, I don't know. Well, okay. Now he knows that the process works like that. I have an idea, and he trusts the process now, that it will eventually, it will take some time, that it will be something he understands with his mind. That's his main problem. And I trust the process, that at a certain point of time, the words will come, and I can translate it to really, that people understand, okay, that's the word of it.
Yes. It has to be relatable to us as on the human side, so we know what we can expect, so we know that it will help us along our path for fulfilling our purpose and with the abundance and prosperity. That is, it does take a process. Would you please tell our viewers how they can find you and contact you, beautiful?
Yes, I will spell my name, but I always just know it. Oh, look, I have a problem with the spelling. On my website is anniemassop.com, and I will spell my name. It's Annie, and then Massop is Massop. So you just can go to my website. There is a beautiful freebie, Meet Your Money and Time Spirit.
Nice.
Because money and time have energy as well. Everything has energy. So you can communicate with your money and time spirit, and can ask them for advice and see what they need to help you to fulfill your purpose. So that's on my website. That's really easy. Go to my website. You can find me on Facebook with the name I just mentioned. And I have a free group, Circle of Abundance, very easy. It's absolutely motivated, very engaged group. And you will get there all kinds of insights, and all spiritual entrepreneurs who connect with each other, we inspire each other, we support each other. Regularly, I have guest speakers, master classes, all kinds of activities. You are also welcome to join, of course, if you want so. And, so, yeah, these are the two main. And on Twitter and LinkedIn, I'm also to be found on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Yes.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time. And in case y'all didn't catch it, this beautiful soul is speaking in English, which is not her native tongue. She's from the Netherlands. And I think, my humble self, you did an amazing job. So thank you for sharing everything that you have. And remember, that is Annie Massop, ANNIEMASSOP.com. And the same on Facebook, Annie Massop. And the Facebook group is Circle of Abundance?
Circle of Abundance, yes.
Circle of Abundance. So thank you again for being here. We have loved sharing this time with you and your energy and your message.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Beautiful soul, we have a free gift for you on angeldreamteam.com. It is Angels, Success, and Prosperity. Become a mover and shaker of your reality. And we'll see you again next time. In the meantime, take care of yourself, be good to yourself, and know that you are loved beyond measure. Bye-bye for now.